Hi, Scorpio. Let's jump right into your messages. This reading is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, and Mercury. Dear God, please bestow your blessings upon Scorpio in this reading. We love you so much. Thank you. Amen. All right. The Empress, the giver of life. It's the divine feminine. The Six of Cups. I almost thought that said the sex of cups. Okay, so that's mommy, right? That's that's mother and her child. That's the hanged man. That is abundant love and nurturing. The Lovers. I feel like this reading is going to be for my Scorpio divine feminines. Regardless of gender, right? We have the Hermit and the Hierophant. Yeah, I kind of feel like that. I feel like instead of, say, for instance, needing physical human maternal love, you may need love from the Divine Mother. Right? Especially in Christianity and Catholicism, that's Mother Mary. And the King of Wands, who is that in the Five of Wands? Okay. Now, what I'm also hearing, I don't necessarily see the devil as of yet, but I do kind of feel like many of you are sorry for the camera placement. Many of you are the giver of love, the giver of advice. You are the one who distributes abundance amongst your tribes, right? Whether it's a friend tribe, it's a work tribe, it's a social tribe. The Empress is the giver of life. And the Six of Cups is unconditional love and nostalgia. And the Hanged Man is kind of being out of balance, not necessarily in your own home perspective, right? Another way I could say that is almost like you're not feeling yourself. You're not feeling like yourself. The Lovers is a soulmate card, like a designated person, like your chosen one, whether that's your kids, whether that's your dog, whether that's a mate or a partner. The Lovers has everything to do with choosing an individual, again, animal, we're all animals, right? But animal or human, to invest love in. That's the Lovers. The Hermit is kind of going within, and the Hierophant, the Hermit with the Hierophant, to me kind of feels like a lot of you need to sit with God. But again, the Divine Mother, that is God. I hope that makes sense. To me, God is not just, it's not masculine. It's not human, first of all. But the source energy is all energy combined. Divine masculine, divine feminine. Okay? The Hierophant has everything to do with your spiritual practice. Five of Wands and King of Wands. Again, I kind of feel like this reading is suggesting that some of you don't feel like yourselves because you possibly may feel out of alignment spiritually, and to bring yourself back into alignment kind of feels like you're needing divine feminine love. I hope that makes sense. Stress. Angels just said there's enough to go around, but are you also filling your plate, right? So if you're feeding everybody else, did you remember to put food on your plate as well? Angels just said no. And here goes Cut Master Flex, the Queen of Swords. Yeah. Okay, so we got the Nine of Swords, Queen of Swords. Here we go, the Nine of Wands. Six of Cups, yet again. Three of Pentacles. Four Swords. Seven of Cups and the Five of Wands. And the Page of Cups. Okay. Page of Cups with the King of Wands. That's Leo and Pisces. It's like the Divine Mother is stressed out. Um, I feel like you may need time with your innards, right? Whether your innards are your spiritual self, your higher self, your inner child. I kind of feel like what this reading again is suggesting is that you need to nurture that inner child more. Angels are saying for many of you who have a mother figure, a maternal figure, someone who's compassionate, loving, nurturing, supportive, available. Okay. For some of you, you may just need to call your mom. For some of you who had that and she passed on, I feel like you're yearning for her energy. For those of you who, like myself, who ain't never had it, angels are saying your inner child could be crying out for it. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, Six of Cups and the Lovers. Angels just said eternal connection, eternal connection. At this time, Scorpio may be stressed or stressed because they don't have that divine feminine in their lives, or the relationship with a divine feminine is stressed. I hope that makes sense. King of Wands sometimes for me represents frustration, the highest level of frustration, the highest level of anger, right? Rage. You know what I mean? But the King of Wands also kind of like a bull in a china shop. He don't give a fuck, right? He gonna do whatever the hell he wants to do. King of Wands is also self-serving. Self-serving with the Page of Cups, yeah, that kind of is a clear message that screams self-care, that screams self-investments, right? I feel like for Scorpio too, if you're definitely someone who resonates with the storyline of spreading yourself thin, I kind of feel like the remedy has to be for you to be selfish, to act selfishly, like the King of Wands, and self-centered. Only worry about you, only think about you, only invest in you, at least for this amount of time. How much time? I don't know yet. Now, obviously, there's a big ass disclaimer. If you got young kids, that message doesn't mean, just leave them hungry. Don't let them in after school, right? That obviously that message is not for you. But angels are saying, even especially for those of you who are caring for minors, you may need a Calgon moment. Y'all remember Calgon moments? Yeah, I'm that old. For anybody who doesn't know what a Calgon moment is, it was this commercial. I believe it was body bubble bath or some sort of body soap, and the commercial was the mother who takes care of everything. At the end of the commercial, she soaked in a tub of Calgon, you know what I mean, to relax herself. Angel said, especially yes, for some of you, a soothing bath would take it all away. Right. What was the term? What was the slogan? Calgon, take me away, or something like that. Yeah, look at this. The Queen of Pentacles. She's the Queen of Independence. Yeah. Now, my angels also said too, especially for those of you who have been spreading yourself thin, especially financially, keep your money. Put your money back in your account. Ooh, that's the King of Wands again. Yeah, that's the King of Wands. The King of Wands and the Queen of Swords. Wow. Over the Six of Cups. You had a very selfish father and an unavailable mom. Look at these cards that just fallen out. Two of Cups. The Queen of Swords and Queens in the Tarot represent the moon position in your astrological chart. So I kind of feel like for a lot of you, if your mother wasn't an air sign, your mother had air in her moon placement. This reading is going to resonate heavily for those of you whose moms had an air sign, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius in her moon position in her astrological chart. Okay, your dad was either a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Yeah, no, angels are saying not necessarily in the rising. I was going to say, or you could have your dad could have had fire in his rising sign, but I don't feel like that. But when you look at the King of Wands and the Queen of Swords, the Six of Cups is your inner child, right? So for a lot of you, your parents were emotionally unavailable and self-centered. You know what I mean? I don't want to use the term narcissistic because I think we done played that one out. Now you struggle when it comes to emotional connections because you were raised by the King of Wands and the Queen of Swords. Thank you. But angels just said, but Scorpio has become the Queen of Pentacles. Angels are saying that, again, the Queen of Pentacles represents independence. Okay? But I don't feel like this is speaking specifically to your... you may say that you've become emotionally independent, but a lot of you, to kind of escape the parenting or the environments that you were raised in, you had to become independent to escape that environment, right? So it's almost like the only way that I can get from under my father and mother's wing is to move out on my own and take care of myself. Ooh, child. I'm definitely going to flag this one as therapeutic because it most certainly is. Child, talking about more unavailable parents. That's the King of Swords. And here's why I said parent, because again, here's the Six of Cups. Here's the Six of Cups. Six of Cups, mother, father. Or Six of Cups, divine feminine, divine masculine. Six of Cups is right here too with the Lovers and the King of Swords. So this reading has everything to do with the divine feminine. And the divine feminine, again, in the astrological chart, is the moon position. A lot of you tend to attract air in the moon position, which is representing emotionally unavailable people. Okay? King of Swords, Queen of Swords on the table. Ooh, the Fool, another air sign. That's Aquarius. So I have Aquarius, Libra, and I got Gemini. Gemini is the Lovers for the major arcana. So air right now is prevalent on this table. Ooh, Temperance. That is the merging and the combining of two sources. Okay, divine feminine, divine masculine. I can't make this up. Six of Cups, one more again. Scorpio, this reading has everything to do with your inner child, the Magician. So what do we do to change it? Okay. Okay, this one is a bit deep because I'm hearing that makes sense to me. Because you open with the divine feminine. I feel like every last Scorpio who this reading is going to resonate with, again, is of divine feminine energy. That's your dominant energy. Okay? And angels are saying, ew, that's interesting. So my angels basically said, she's dormant though, right? Your divine feminine energy inside of you is dormant. Why is she dormant? Because you've been dealing with a lot of emotionally unavailable people. So it's almost like if you try to reach out to connect to someone, the Lovers in the Two of Cups, you had an air sign who was not reaching back. This is a very specific reading. I may fold it up and just kind of move on to something else. Angel, I know. Scorpio and trust is like, boiling, hot lava and ice cream. They just don't fucking go together. Scorpio and trust. Okay. Can you imagine ice cream being fried? And I think in some places they do sell fried ice cream. Anyway, angels are saying, I feel like, yeah, you got the King of Wands here twice. For some of you, you could, this has been a karmic cycle for you, right? Karmic cycle as in you keep attracting or kept attracting unavailable people. And angels are saying, I know, they're saying if you represented the Divine Mother, you definitely attracted the divine father, which is the emperor, who the emperor is, although he balances out the empress, right? He's not necessarily, warm and fuzzy. You know what I mean? So angels are saying this is answering a lot of people's prayers, or answering the question of, why the fuck do I keep meeting this same type of person? This is your answer. Because genetically, karmically, it's almost like you are karmically predisposed to connect to the same person who raised you, right? We date our moms, we date our dads. We become our moms in relationships and date our dads. We become dads in our relationships and date our moms. And angels are saying at the end of the day, well, who else could you become? And a clear answer is a combination of the two, which is what divine balance is all about. That's who God is. That's who source energy is. God is equal amounts feminine, equal amounts masculine, and they just complement and work together and flow together and create together and travel together and evolve together, right? Angels also said to me too, for many of you, especially who are interested in relationships, that could be the major challenge of your relationships, in that you could be compatible in a shit ton of places, but when it comes to growth or trajectory or path of the relationship, to an extent, that may be where everything kind of falls apart. Now, angels, what is the remedy, right? How can Scorpio kind of quote unquote correct this? And their clear answer is the seesaw effect. Divine feminine, divine masculine. Back and forth, right? Because at the end of the day, this is still balance, right? This is not, you know what I mean? But this is still balance. They're working together, they're creating together, they're evolving together, but also at the same time, they're in lockstep. Angel said Scorpio has a hard time connecting, even with friends, right? Angel, I feel like there are some of you out there, even on your jobs, right? You don't do none of that company shit and karaoke on Thursday nights. Angels are saying that part could resonate with reclusive Scorpios, especially Scorpios again who are a bit more of loners or introverts or agoraphobics, right? You just is it social anxiety? Yeah, we can call it social anxiety. I want to give psychology a rest, right? But I did say I would label this as a therapy reading. So if any parts of this reading does resonate with you, oh, by the way, personal readings are open. A bunch of readings are open. The link is in the description. But if any parts of this resonates within you, angels are saying to me, first you have to define based on your parents. You have to define, when you are in your relationships, which one are you? Are you the divine masculine? Are you the divine feminine? Okay. If you are the divine feminine, energetically, you should attract the divine masculine. Who does not attract the divine masculine? Divine feminines who overdo it, who are out of alignment, who are out of balance. You overlove, you overgive, you oversacrifice. You're going to attract a puppy. Somebody who needs your nurturing, your caring, your energy to save their lives so they can live, so to sustain them. Angels are like, oh girl, you talking to somebody now. So I kind of feel like if you are in balance, so you love just enough, you have amazing boundaries, then you're this half, right? You don't go too far. You're not given, you're not completely emotionally available. So this is the only part that you need to do for you to attract the divine masculine. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, I don't want this reading to be about 45 minutes long, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. It's a bit of a short and deep one, right? If you want more information, maybe schedule a reading. If it struck a chord, if it hit home, if you just don't know what the hell to do, yeah, schedule a personal reading with me. I love you, Scorpio. Bye.